Part warlord, part arms dealer, all mysterious, he's one of Cobra's most obscure and dangerous operatives. Darklon. With his wild look and secretive past, Darklon has become a cult favorite in the G.I. Joe universe. But who is he really? Let's dive into the battlefield history of Cobra's shadowy warlord, Darklon. Darklon first hit toy shelves in 1989 as part of the G.I. Joe movie, A Real American Hero toy line. It's not a movie. I misspoke right there. He was packaged with the Evader, a sleek, heavily armored vehicle. Darklon stood out instantly, sporting a bizarre design with a green visor, maroon bodysuit, black body armor, and a handlebar kind of mustache. He looked like a villain straight out of the post-apocalyptic sci-fi movies. He was marketed as the distant cousin of Destro. Yes, Destro. Trying him into the leagues of the Mars Industries. But unlike Destro's cold Persephone, Darklon was described as unpredictable, greedy, and explosive. He wasn't about control, he was about chaos. Alright, so we are going to take a look at the newly released Iron Grenadiers G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Darklon. Again, there's a lot to this, and we're going to take a look at this. The sword, the knife, man, that is not what I thought he was in the cartoon. And to me, he was not part of Iron Grenadiers. He was a total Cobra dude to me. If you look at his outfit, and even what we've seen of the reissues, I guess, in the original one and everything else, I mean, my God, it looked good, and it's just great. This has got some stuff in it that I'm real interested in seeing. So let's take a pause here. Let's open this version up and let's get him knocked out and let's see what's inside. All right, so now we got him out of the package, and as I was saying, to me, this guy went with Crocmaster. He went with the Dreadnoks. Not ever in my life did I think he was an Iron Grenadier, but you know, in the vintage, we've seen it. He came with a vehicle and all that. But let's take a look at that head. That head is remarkable. As we just zoom in on it, the look of it is great. It is an absolute something is cooking in it. The camouflage, the armor, fantastic. Love it. To me, this is supposed to be a camouflage suit, but honestly, as a kid growing up, it was snakeskin. That green, that is a Cobra person, maybe not even a person. But with this, we get the jeans or the kind of slacks that it would, and look at the T2. I always think, anytime I see this, I think of Terminator 2 when he's shooting the stuff. So he's got a lot of holes in him, and what I mean is there's a lot of places to put some accessories. So let's take a look at him. The first one we're going to look at is a dagger right here. So the dagger, mine has a little bit of chalkiness to it, which is okay. But the dagger, I am going to say, is going to probably slide right down there. He is armed at the foot. Then we got a nice little revolver. Good little Dick Tracy 6-shooter here. That's going to go in the back. That's just for emergency purposes only. He'll probably pull around and get you a little whackaroony on that. It does not, as I am doing this, that is not going in there the greatest. Once this goes in, it's never coming out. So that it ended up going back down in there. That's cool. The next thing he has, which I am intrigued by, is this helmet. So he has a tongue out. I don't like it, honestly, but got a brainage kind of a thing. Almost looks like range viper more than anything. Very silver, very tell him, Hawk. It is a cool, and it's got the fangs. Very cool face. To me, it does not go with this actual figure. This also could be in a comic or something else that I don't know about, but you can leave me a comment in the comments. Why is this helmet with him? Is it just a cool sculpt somebody made? Or is it, you know, does it mean something? Next thing, he's got his sheath. Very detailed. Silvered. The lace, the metal, the silver. This, I am not so sure what this is all about for him, but maybe it's part of the Iron Grenadiers with Destro kind of a thing. Oh, sword. Big sword. Sort of omens almost looking like they're Thunder, Eye of Thundera in it. The silver. This is just a very, very detailed. So it's got the slipe, then it's got their, what is that called? Serrated? Not serrated. I can't think of it. But anyway, very nice sword that just goes back in there. Makes him look kind of a badass. It's pretty cool. And then the gun that came with him in the G.I. Joe Real American Hero line. That's awesome. I'm assuming is shooting those canisters from the T2. I always thought it was a Gatling gun. Just this is a neat little thing to know. It's like a CO2 cartridge gun or something like that, which is very, very cool. For me, this is a fantastic toy. The lore of him is a lot better than most Cobra. This is something that doesn't happen anymore because everybody's cool and Bibles and this and that. And I don't mean the Holy Bible. I mean, everybody has to have a story. This dude never had anything. I bought him because he was a cool little figure. And when I was a kid, and the dude, I made it up. Never in my life did I put him with Iron Grenadiers and copper-headed Destro. I don't know. How'd you play with him? Or did you have him? What'd you do with him? Because he was just a Cobra badass for me. When you got a gun like that, you're a Cobra badass. All right, let's get more into the detail of the history. Thanks for watching the review portion of this. Oddly enough, another G.I. Joe character that we're looking at, Darklon, never made an official appearance in the original Sunbow G.I. Joe animated series. By the time he was introduced into the toy line, the cartoon's golden era had already passed. However, he did briefly appear in the Deke G.I. Joe cartoon series in the early 1990s, though not as a main character. His presence was mostly as a background cannon fodder, and he didn't get any real personality or development. Missed opportunity, if you ask me, and what a thing they could have done with him and Destro. In the Marvel G.I. Joe movies, wasn't around either. He did make a Larry Hama comic appearance. Darklon's role was far more substantial. He was introduced in issue number 145, where he appeared as a ruthless leader of Darklonia in his, it's kind of his own little mythos. With a private army and high-tech weaponry at his disposal, Darklon became an occasional ally to Cobra and an adversary to G.I. Joe. Kind of think of... I'm trying to think. Maybe Boba Fett? Maybe? Darklon's relationship with Destro was complicated. As a distant relative, he was sometimes a partner, sometimes a pawn, and at one point, Destro even had Darklon assassinated to retake controls of Mars. But, classic comic twist, Darklon faked his death only to return years later in an IDW G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero continuity series. The IDW run, Larry Hama brought Darklon back in style. He's still ruling Darklonia, he's still hoarding tech, and still causing problems for both Cobra and the Joes. In fact, his return brought a renewed sense of menace and unpredictability to the comic series. While Darklon never became a household name like Cobra Commander, Storm Shadow, or all the big ones, he developed a cult following over the years. His action figure is a must-have for collectors, especially the 2012 convention-exclusive version released by the G.I. Joe Collectors Club, which updated his look to a more modern, detailed gear. Fans love Darklon for what he represents, the weird, wild side of G.I. Joe, where international warlords, science fiction tech, and soap opera level drama can collide. Even pops up in fan-made comics and custom figures from time to time. So, was Darklon a criminal mastermind, a power-hungry cousin, or just a Cobra wild card with a mustache? Maybe all three. What's your favorite Darklon moment? Have you tracked down the original figure? I have not yet, but I do want it, and this new one is fantastic. And if you're loving these deep dives into the obscure G.I. Joe characters, be sure to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. Yo, Joe! And watch out for the warlords hiding in the shadows.